Well, the Mid-Island region has certainly had its share of wet and wild weather over the last week. Heavy rains and high winds have hit many communities, particularly overnight on Monday. So imagine spending that night outside with just flimsy plastic to protect you. That's what has Port Alberni SPCA wondering who could have abandoned a 4-month-old kitten on their doorstep with the wind and the rain raging. A News Mid-Island Bureau Chief Jonathan Bartlett has the story.
There you go.
Staff at the SPCA in Port Alberni have already named this little kitten. You guessed it, Stormy.
Yeah, she's sweet, isn't she?
Stormy spent one of the worst nights of the year outside, abandoned at the gates of the SPCA.
She was petrified, the poor little thing. Not only was she cold and wet, she was shivering, but, you know, her eyes were like big saucers.
Sometime Monday night, someone left the kitten with only a flimsy plastic pet carrier for protection, no blanket, and just a paper cup with a little food. When staff arrived on Tuesday morning, they found her cold, wet, and terrified.
Well, the cat was frightened, had really big eyes, and was way at the back of the kennel. And it didn't have a blanket or anything. And the dogs, as you can hear, were barking.
Staff were last at the SPCA at 4:30 on Monday. They found the kitten the next day at 8:30. That means Stormy could have spent up to 16 hours in the pouring rain and heavy winds.
Of course, we'd had that terrible weather the night before, that storm, you know, that caused the power outages with the wind and the rain. And the poor little kitten was soaking wet. The pet carrier was splattered with mud, I guess because the wind had been knocking it around.
The kitten, a black domestic short-hair female, was understandably skittish and scared, but she's now come around.
Now that she's all dried out and warmed up, she's fine, yeah. We're here to help and to come and talk to us when we're open and bring the animals in then.
She's been dewormed, defleed, and vaccinated. The next step will be finding a forever home for Stormy.
She's a really nice little kitten. You know, she's settled down now and she's nice and warm and dry, and we've named her Stormy. You know, so, I mean, she's going to be looking for her new forever home, and she's going to make somebody a really nice pet.
If you can provide that forever home for Stormy or any of the other 40 cats at the Port Alberni SPCA, you can contact them at 250-723-5269. In Port Alberni, Jonathan Bartlett, A News.